Nas, I ain't never been this emotional in front of no one my whole life. I said, thank you. Respect, and I take it as an honor and a privilege, right? And so, we're taught, so many of us, to hold it in, right? And it's just tough. A lot of us are masking all day, every day, whether you're code switching because of your color, maybe your queer status. As we know, autistic folks on here, it's just tough. And so we get silent. Some of us do what me and Daniel do and Spencer do, is we become the clown. Right? We become the clown because it's a safety thing. I talked to a client today. It's a hypervigilance thing. If I make you laugh, I know you're not going to kill me. I make you laugh, I know you're not going to beat me. I make you laugh, I know that I can maneuver my way and leave the situation without you grabbing me. So we learn these things. And it's sad, but smart kids learn these things because we learn to navigate the world. It was interesting conversation, Spence. And then these movies we watch, they fuck with me, Spence. I'm in there with therapy. And so hopefully people are thinking of that as we go into these scenes, right? And we start talking about them. Keep them in your mind, folks. Remember to bring them up. If it brings up any emotions, like Daniel said, talk about them with your therapist, talk about them with your loved ones and your friends, your homies, right? Talk about them. Because, right, Daniel's getting ready to break down some really cool shit here in a minute. All right, Spence.
All right. I think that's actually a good point to actually get into the scene.
Okay.
Let's do it. So the first scene that we have is actually the beginning of the movie, where we get to see a young Mr. Incredible, and he is saving the day.
He good looking.
He is. All right.
That's a good looking white man right there, right now.
He's saving the day, and he's doing it on multiple fronts, right? He's saving a cat from a tree. He's also helping the cops catch burglars. He's also helping people who are throwing themselves off buildings, saving them. And then also just trying to help his little young ward just to go home so he doesn't get hurt. And through all of that mess, he actually does get in trouble on multiple fronts, right? So whether it's trying to help save a young buddy, or trying to help someone who is attempting to take their own life by jumping off a building, whether it's trying to help protect the train from being crashed and having, hundreds of people die. And then he also gets in trouble with his soon-to-be wife for being late for saving all of these people, right? Multiple fronts where he has a lot of responsibilities, and somehow he comes out short in the end. And then we find out that this causes legislation to take place where heroes can no longer be heroes. Now they have to be, quote unquote, normal and be part of society. So gross, I know. So Daniel, what about this beginning scene did you really want to touch on, especially since you kind of want to talk about identities, but what specifically did you want to talk about for this first scene?
Well, Spencer, I gotta say, you summarized it real well. We are well, because the first thing you're introduced to when you're watching the movie is them being asked about finding a balance between their superhero life and their personal life. They say, do you let people into your personal life? Do people know who you are? They say, oh, no, because I'm too busy being a superhero and I, can't have people. I don't have time for a personal life. And then you literally see everything that is expected of these superheroes in like the first 5 minutes. And it's like, oh, because he's a superhero, he's expected to do all these things.
Yep.
But in actuality, we as people are expected to do multitask all the things all the time. Like you call ADHD, like that's a superhero power because you're expected to hold multiple things at once and do all these things. And for some people, it is their superpower, but then you are labeled as such as like that's othering. It's not normal, but you also want me to do it. There's an expectation of Mr. Incredible that he saves the cat, that he stops the robbers, that he saves someone's life as they're trying to make an attempt on it, and also get married. And he's expected to do all of that because he's Mr. Incredible. And so that is just like, who can relate? Who's trying to do all the things, and they're like, oh man, like I still got time. I still have time to do these things. I still have time to do that. And to still feel at the end like you're still questioning why you did it, if you got to complete it, and did it bring you a sense of feeling? Did you do it correctly? And you even see the police depicted here. They're like, you didn't stop the other guy. They didn't like, oh, thank you again, Mr. Incredible, but they also gave the same energy, like, you didn't stop him. And so it's like, how can we hold all of that? How can we continue to hold that? Is it realistic? Not.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and can I also ask this? Do you see, and Naz, this is for you too, for people who are in the mental health field, you're helping people all the time to help save their lives on a daily basis. Do you kind of see yourselves not as just superheroes, but people who are protectors of those around you, and that sometimes you're not really given the accolades? You are seen to be doing more and more. You have to do more in order to help people kind of, get along with their day-to-days. Do you kind of see yourself in that kind of Mr. Incredible role?
Yes, for me. Right, because you have a lot of responsibility, doing a lot of stuff as a social worker, doing a lot of stuff. I'm not just in there doing therapy. I'm getting resources, connecting people, meds. I'm calling parents. I'm writing letters to the school. I'm doing a lot of stuff. But I'm gonna do a little pivot, Spence. I don't think you need to be in a caring profession to be one of these superheroes. As I tell my student the other day, I said, you saved someone's life. You don't even know you did it, and you did it. I said, thank you. As I told a student the other day when we were in group, I said, you affirmed someone in therapy, right? And you helped out my friend. Could have just saved her life by making her actually feel good. First time someone's actually made her feel good. You know how awesome that is? So maybe you're not the smartest or this or that, but you did something really good right there. And because of that heart of yours, you're a hero. So Spence, I believe that we can all be heroes. And I believe that we're all super busy and we're all overwhelmed. And we all feel like shit. None of us are really sleeping that good. And we're all burned out. The superheroes are the people that don't allow themselves to become depressed and miserable, become assholes, to become violent. Hey, maybe you mess up. God knows I've messed up and been violent. But it's the ones that don't allow their entire personality to be shifted. So Spence, yeah, I see myself as one of these superheroes, but I see a lot of other regular motherfuckers being heroes too. I try to make my clients know that you're the hero of your story. No. I'm a side character. How the fuck you a side character in your own story? How are you a side piece in your own story? You can't be the side piece.
You can't be a side piece when you're fantasizing.
You the full piece. I don't know, what's the difference of a side piece? Main chick? I say main chick. Whatever. I was real serious and then I lost it. Sorry, Spence. But we can all be heroes, man. And we got to start remembering that we're the hero of our own story. And sometimes you need someone like Daniel was talking about to help you navigate it. Maybe these mentors, maybe loved ones, maybe friends. It's tough though, man. It's tough to be navigating your own story, man, because it's just a lot. And for a lot of people listening, it becomes overwhelming and then you're burned out. Because life ain't easy for most of us. You listen to this podcast, life ain't been easy. You listen to this podcast, you listen to this for either to laugh or because you felt incongruent listening to other podcasts and you're like, these fucking guys get it. Last thing I'm going to pivot. We got a random email today, Spence. You see that email?
We've gotten a few, but I think I know which one you're
This one was like, not the God one. The one that was like, I need your help, man. I thought
you were talking about that.
I'm like G-Eazy or something like that. And they said they listen to the pod. I'm like,
oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that one.
That one was super cool as shit. I'm like, I don't know fully how to help you, but this is cool ass fucking email.
I know, but they're also like, God told me, and I was like, uh-oh, that doesn't usually end well.
Yeah,
I
was cool.
Can I have some change too?
I thought it was a cool email, so man, I'll reply back with some stuff. I don't know how to fully help them because shit, we're not even famous, but whatever. I don't know. We're making impacts. We've had people leave us wonderful DMs, and I think it's about just helping, Spence. Superheroes just help normal people. I'll let Daniel go. Are you a hero? The answer is yes, FYI.
And I think that's a great point. I love what you said, Nas, about anybody could be a hero. Like, you see the doctor in front of my name, you see the doctor in front of Nas' name, but that's not a requirement to be a hero, right? It's like choosing an action that just ultimately leads to doing good, right? Like, you just ask yourself for a second, like, is this for the better good of like myself, for my friends, my family, for the world? Then you're doing heroic acts, right? I think like what I try to tell people is that you can't pour from an empty cup. I tell a lot of clients that, patients, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you trying to pour into other people, pour into other people, but you have nothing to pour. You're pouring from a deficit. Like, that's rough. That will burn you out quicker than anything else.
Yeah.
So like, I think a lot of times we're taught in this, like, any kind of helping profession, at least, like, that's the thing. But any kind of onus to ourselves or helping ourselves, that's on our own time. You don't see a lot of programs saying, hey, and today, this week, we're going to talk about taking care of yourself. Your assignment is to, like, sit in a bubble bath and then, like, just relax, turn off the phone, airplane mode, just relax. That is expected to be on your own time, outside of work, outside of school, you name it. So like, how do we do that? How do we learn how to do that? And then how do we champion like a world that says, okay, take care of yourself before taking care of others? If you've been on a plane, one of the first things they tell you is, in the case of an emergency, put your mask on and then tend to others. Then tend to others, right? So why is this any different?
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Check out the full episode on our channel and anywhere you find podcasts. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Whoop whoop!